The Teams tab is where you will find all of your teams in Teams. Now, this is all confusing, but we'll get to it. You can quick access this with the shortcut Control and 3. So down the side here we have our teams. You can divide these by certain areas of the business, so you could have a marketing team, a sales team. We also have an all-staff team, so somewhere we can keep everyone in the business up to date. You can allow certain members of the business access to each team, so not everyone will have access to everything. For example, you could only allow your marketing employees to access the marketing team. Only they would then have access to the chat, files, and any other information stored within that team. At the top here, there's the 3 lines, which is your search or filter. So you can search for a team or channel. This is handy if you're actually in quite a few teams in a large organization. If you do have too many teams, you can actually hide some of them. So all you have to do is click on the 3 dots here and press hide, and that will disappear and it will just tidy things up for you. You can then find these if you click the hidden teams drop down, and you can unhide them by pressing show. Back to this, so below hide you will see some other options as well. So manage team allows you to see who else is part of that team and their status within the team. So you can see that Gintas is the owner of this team, and there are some other members within that team and their role is specifically member. Depending on your permissions within a team, you can add members to your team as well. You can also add members by clicking the 3 dots and press add member. I will circle back to add channel in a moment, as that is a little bit more in depth. So below add member you have leave the team. This means you will no longer have access to the chats, files or apps within that team once you leave. Get linked to team allows you to send someone a link to access the team if they have permission to do that. And you can also add tags to a team, only if you are the admin though. Now back to add channel. Within each team you can have multiple channels. So if I click this drop down here, this here, so Sam's team is a team, and this here general is a channel. So every time you create a team, a general channel will then be created. So I'm going to show you how to add a channel. So if we go to more options here and then click add channel. So you want to give it a name, so I'm going to call this event 1. You can add a description, and you can also add privacy access as well, so you can only allow specific people to access this channel, or you can allow everyone in the team access to this channel. So an example of this would be if you have a team called events. Within the events team you can have channel for a pub quiz, for a launch event, for any other event you have a separate channel for each one. Within each channel you can store documents relating to the specific events, create task lists for each event, whatever you need in that specific channel. And then you could also allow access to the event channels based on which employees are working on it. So not everyone in the events team needs access to every channel, only specific people. So then if I tick to automatically show the channel in everyone's channel list and hit add, it will then add me a brand new channel here. Now each channel also has its own options on the side here. Some of these are slightly different to the ones that you will get on Teams. So first up you can customize channel notifications. So if you want to turn them off, you want all activity notifications, or you can customize them as well. Pin a channel, so this means you can move the channel to the top. So here you can see I have specifically pinned events 1. So that means it's a channel that I want to access regularly. If you don't want to access anymore, just click on it, unpin it. You can also hide channels as well, as we showed you earlier with Teams. Manage channel is all about permissions in the channel again. Get an email address. So what you can do is you can actually email the channel. So I can show you that in the general one here. So you can see here that Sam has sent an email from Outlook to that channel, and that will be using a channel email address. So it's handy in the sense of, rather than forwarding an email where you need a response from everyone, you can simply email that email to a channel, and then everyone can respond and everyone can see everyone's response as well. So I'm going to start from a blank channel here in event 1 that we created. So when you create a new channel, you will get tabs automatically generated for you at the top here. The first of which is posts. So posts is kind of like a chat. You can start conversations with members of your team, ask them questions. If you do want to highlight something to someone specific in a post, we would recommend tagging them. So if we go to new conversation and type @Sam Edwards, that will then tag them. It's basically a better way to notify them. If you didn't tag them, it would just simply come up bold. As you can see here, I've got unread notifications and Breakwater all staff. It's not very obvious, so it's better to tag them because it will then send them a notification and it will show in their activity feed. Below the start a conversation bar, there are some options. I'd recommend watching our chat video to get to grips with these a little bit more, rather than us going through them again in this video, as there's a lot to cover. I will add a link in the video description to that video, or it is on the same playlist within our YouTube channel. A key difference in posts compared to general chats is the reply button. So if I go back to our general team, you can see under here there is a reply button. This allows you to just basically start conversation threads. So these here would be 2 different conversation threads, so you might reply to one directly rather than just having a series of long chat conversations. I'm going to stay in the general team as well to show you the next tab, because this is files. So files is where all of your Excel, Word, PowerPoint, PDF images and so on are stored. If you're familiar with File Explorer, this is a copy of this within Teams. You can, however, sync your files to a traditional File Explorer by pressing the sync button here. OneDrive ensures that all of your files and folders are uploaded and synced to Teams, so any changes made through File Explorer will be replicated in Teams and vice versa. You can also create new documents, so you can create Word documents, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote and so on within the channel files. You can also work on files within Teams, so you can open a Word document and work on it in Teams, or you can open it in a separate application too. And of course, if you have files that are in a different File Explorer or a different team channel, you can upload them too. So if I go back to Events 1, just to show you an empty channel, so next to this you do also have a Wiki tab. It's up to you if you use this. This isn't something we personally use. It is handy to show you how to delete a tab though, as there is a drop down here where you can remove tabs. We then have the plus button. So the plus button allows you to add other apps and files as tabs along the top. So you could add a shared PDF with an agenda at the top so that everyone can have really easy access to it. You might want to add a whiteboard so that everyone can collaborate ideas within that channel. Things like that can be added at the top really easily. Now across from these tabs you have the Meet button. Pressing this will start an instant video call with all channel participants, or you can use the drop down, so you again have a Meet Now option to start an instant video call, or you can schedule a meeting for another day. Outlook and Teams calendars sync, so remember if you schedule a meeting for later, it will add it to your Outlook too. This little info button here is for quick access information about the channel. So if you have a channel description, this will appear here. If you're the owner of the channel, you can add one yourself, and you can also see all the members within the channel and any updates. And then the 3 dots just gives you the same options as you had from the more options next to your channel name over here. Lastly, and probably most importantly, below your list of teams that you are part of, you have the join or create a team. So if we click on this, so here you can see we have a bunch of public teams. So if you find one that you want to be a part of, you can click join team and join that. You can also enter a code. So this might be useful if there are a lot of teams that you can join publicly and you want to find a specific one. And if you have permission, you can also create your own teams in here. And that is an overview of teams within Teams.